Well, the shockwaves from the president's shifting comments about Vladimir Putin have rattled his intelligence advisors, and that led to a rare rebuke from the head of National Intelligence. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coates disagreeing with his boss's comments in Helsinki, siding with Vladimir Putin over his own top intelligence official.
I believed I needed to correct the record for that. This is the job I signed up for.
Great to be with you.
And saying President Trump should not have met for more than 2 hours alone with Putin, a former KGB spy master, without note-takers in the room.
You were on the dark side of the moon. How do you have any idea what happened in that meeting?
Well, you're right. I don't know what happened in that meeting.
Is there a risk that Vladimir Putin could have recorded it?
That risk is always there.
Coates was also blindsided last year when top Russian officials had an unannounced meeting with the president at the White House. The only pictures of that meeting released by official Russian media.
Did you know beforehand that Kislyak and Lavrov, the ambassador and the foreign minister, were going into the Oval Office that day?
I did not.
What was your reaction afterwards? I mean, we all learned about it from TASS.
Probably not the best thing to do.
Coates called out Russia, he said, for continuing to be a threat to the U.S.
They are the ones that are trying to undermine our basic values, divide us with our allies. They are the ones that are trying to wreak havoc over our election process.
And he says it is all done at the direction of Vladimir Putin, despite Mr. Trump's claims that others could be responsible for election meddling.
It is very clear that virtually nothing happens there of any kind of consequence that Vladimir Putin doesn't know about or hasn't ordered.
Coates is clearly putting his job on the line by speaking truth to power. A former ambassador and twice elected to the Senate, he seems determined to keep politics out of the intelligence agencies as long as he is there. Hoda and Savannah, back to you.
Well, Andrea, either you went to a Metallica concert last night or you broke so much news you lost your voice, but thanks for getting up early out there.
Thank you, Andrea.
I was just shocked by all the news.
I know. Extraordinary work. Andrea, thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.